Well, the turkey are still on the move off the nest, and there's a rare glimpse of a bobcat. And the animals, they even out in this rain. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the foothills of the Smokies. Another chapter of As the Ridge Turns here in East Tennessee. Hope y'all doing well. It's a beautiful day here. Beautiful morning. And everything seems to be growing out real good. And I come across something I wanted to share with you, going back in this ridge. A little baby tarpon. I see tarpons all the time, but not little babies like this. This is not very old, is it? Ain't it so cute? So precious. Well, I'll set him free. Maybe he'll crawl in these vines and grow older. I sure hope so. But anyway, we got some beneficial rains here this week. We needed the rain so bad. We got about 4 inches here last week since this last video. And a lot of people got bad storms. And I hope you inspired good. And here at the pond, water's come up good, but we need so much more. Thank the Lord for what we got. So I want you to relax, get your favorite cup of coffee, and let's see who stepped in front of the cameras this week. Well, out in the ridge, you can see the does are heavy with fawn, but they're still browsing. Give it a few weeks. Around Memorial Day, 1st of June, they'll start dropping these fawns. Now these yearlings here, this is a young buck. They made it through the winter, and they sure glad to see another spring. Here's a skunk. I thought it's just a skunk moving through, but it's carrying something. Got 2 or 3 pictures of this. I'll zoom down a little bit. Looks like it's carrying its young, moving it. I'll catch it again right here. Looks like it's carrying its young. I'll stop it. Don't know where that den's at, but they're moving through. Rare picture there. And deer, they always looking around, but you're liable to see them anywhere. Beautiful doe. And there's old son of Yeller. You can tell by the 2 eyes or the ring around the tail. Don't know what happened to old Yeller, but there's son of Yeller again. He's moved in this ridge. Could be his son, don't know. A turkey off the roost. They moving around good, these hens. They out feeding during the day. And you catch them anywhere too. There's a blue jay out in the woods. And there's old Painty Tail. Got him a walnut. Now we had some good rain here. Some good heavy storms. But nothing really serious in this area. But after the storms, animals are out browsing again. And there's old Woody. He got to show off a little bit. He likes the camera. Beautiful little bird. He sings away all day in these woods. And there's a beautiful cardinal. They sing all day in these woods too, you can hear them. Their time of year. And there's little Chucky. He's out making his round, seeing what he can find. And he's just relaxing on these beautiful days. But he's on his way. And there's old Ricky. He's always out moving around. He has to say hi. But he's really happy when he finds an old walnut. This has made his day right there. The deer, they moved around here below the motel. And up at the motel, there's Ricky on his perch. He's like me, he's wondering, where's Dirty Dan at? And Diane, funny thing about him, didn't film a picture of him this week moving around at all. And there's old Tiger. Ain't seen that cat in a while. But back at the pond, the deer are loving it. All this fresh grass and the water's up a little bit. And they've been feeding around on these blackberry leaves. They pulled the leaf bush down into the camera. This is the last of that on this camera this week. And that looks like old Yeller there on the other one. You can see the pond there. There's a lot of water in it, it's just covered with grass. When it gets dark, the old coons are out making their time, coming off the den trees, moving on through. They got places to be. And there's old son of Yeller moving through the woods at night. I guess who's behind him? A bobcat, a rare glance. I hope he don't catch up with him. If he does, he's got problems. And there's a little possum. They out making their rounds. And there's chasing a bug, trying to catch it. And like I said, these does are heavy with fawn. Give it a few more weeks. There's the coons moving through, Mr. and Mrs. Rocky. And that looks like Sidewinder, but I can't be sure. Just because we don't see these for a while don't mean they're still not around. There's old coon No-Tail coming through. And there's one I ain't seen in a while, old One-Eyed Jack. He's still around too. But they're always out. What they can get into. And there's a rare glimpse of a fox. Now they're up starting to move around again. I know they've got a den, but I don't know where it's at. Now here's a strange picture. Deer moving through the woods. You'll see a bug right here move through. But I don't know what that is, unless it's just reflection off the camera. The old possum at the log. They out making their rounds on these rainy nights. These night crawlers are hatching out everywhere. After a good rain, they feast on them. There's a heavy pond that's just below the Rock Motel. And the old coons, yep, they moving up towards the Rock Motel. They got to make their rounds, and they like these night crawlers too. You can see him coming up there. And Mr. and Mrs. Rocky's got to make the rounds. This is one of their normal stops. Just moving on through. And there's a heavy pond moving through. And there's a little old possum eating on something out of Willie's perch. These bugs and stuff are really hatching out now this time of year. And these animals love it too. Now there is old Flat Top. Wonder what he's up to. Now, I don't know who that is on. That's a little possum, but I don't know which one moving across the top of the ridge. And the coons are moving across the top of the ridge too. We know where they're going. And at the pond, on a wet night, here's no wet coon looking at the camera. Acted kind of funny, ain't he? This is a coon behind the camera. And down at the pond, yep, they love it. They know the frogs are up in this water, and they like to go after them. But come daylight, there's a skunk moving through. And turkeys off the roost early in the morning, out making their round. And there's old Socks. Ain't seen Socks in a while. But the deer, they just browse all day. Peaceful morning here on the ridge. But it's time for the little squirrels here in a minute. But Woody has to say hi again. And little squirrels, they eat these bugs and insects too, but here I think they're eating some seed pods out of a tree. It's dropped off. Seems like they like them awful well. And they gang up on them too. It's so precious just to watch them. They have a good time. But they're always watching out. And there's old Fancy Tail. Got him a walnut. Fancy Tail got that place on the end of its tail. Don't know how it got it. Well, that's just what stepped in front of the cameras this week. Hope you enjoyed. God bless, and I'll see you next time.